Good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don in here with you as we have got a strong thunderstorm sitting over western and southwestern Randolph County at this hour. Good news is it's mostly just rain. I mean, there is some thunder and lightning with this, but nothing severe. As a matter of fact, we don't even have a special weather statement out there. So you folks along 431 and west in Randolph County getting some much needed and very beneficial rainfall this afternoon. Let me zoom back out and we'll show you the big picture. We do have scattered showers and thunderstorms from really the Tennessee state line up there at Chattanooga all the way across East Alabama, northwest Georgia, and then stretching back into Randolph County. I think that storm in Randolph is the strongest at the moment. But again, it's below severe limits. Then we have broken showers down through Tallapoosa and down into portions of Elmore County, and that continues on down to the south to Andalusia, back over toward Jackson, Alabama, and then to Mobile. But let's go back up here to Randolph County, and we'll zoom in a little bit closer and show you what's going on here. Scattered showers, too, up here on I-20 between Bremen and Douglasville, back down south of Carrollton. A few scattered showers there in western Carroll County, and then a big thunderstorm trying to get going up there in the northeastern section of Randolph County. That would be just just east of Woodland and just southwest of Ephesus. And then here's the big one, from just east of Wedowee all the way back into Clay County. Stretches from the north all the way up there around Heflin and Anniston, then across the Folsom community up in northwest Randolph County, and then down to Wedowee, back over toward Flat Rock Park. Probably the heaviest of all of this is on the south end, just to the west of Rock Stand, just northwest of Crystal Lake, just west of or just north of Friendship. There could be a little bit of small hail there. I think that's probably just very heavy rainfall on the southern end of this line of storms. And we'll put this in motion. I can get my mouse to cooperate. And you'll see that, it's going to be a close call for Roanoke. I'm not really sure Roanoke gets any of this particular part of the storm. There are a few light showers back over toward the mountain community in southeastern Clay that may eventually make it over toward Roanoke. But yeah, I'm not really sure this makes it into Roanoke. It looks like that individual storm has a little bit more of a northeast component to it, while the entire line is moving off to the east. Now, these storms were severe over in West Alabama several hours ago, especially northwest Alabama, up there around Lawrence County. We had some microbursts, downburst over there, and there was some damage. I've been seeing some stuff on social media about damage in northwest Alabama, but since they made it into Talladega and Coosa, we did have a special weather statement that covered part of Clay and Coosa, Tallapoosa down into Elmore, but that part of the storm has now moved on over into Randolph County, and the Weather Service not extending that special weather statement. And I've also been looking at the chat room, and they're telling us that this line of storms is decreasing in intensity as it moves off to the east, so I would not anticipate any more weather statements from the National Weather Service on this particular storm. But once again, there you can see it. A lot of beneficial rainfall hitting western and central Randolph County at this hour. Terry says it's very bad in Roanoke. I don't, maybe west and north of Roanoke, but radar's not showing anything in Roanoke proper at the moment. When you say bad, you may be hearing thunder and lightning up off to your north, and it looks bad back in that direction, but it's not. This storm is not severe by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, Linda, we do. Everybody needs some rain. Elaine, Pine Mountain, ? Welcome to the What About Club there, Elaine. So Pine Mountain, way down here in Harris County. This storm is way up here in Randolph County, moving northeast, so that's going to come nowhere near Pine Mountain. Now, There is a scattered broken line of storms that stretches from southern Clay through Tallapoosa down into Elmore and Montgomery that is moving to the east. So it is possible that Pine Mountain will get a shower, in another hour or two, but it's probably not going to amount to much at all for you folks over there in Harris County. On the troop side, is still not. I don't see anything that's headed your way. These storms are not going to intensify. As a matter of fact, they're in a weakening mode. So what you see right now is as strong as they're going to get, and they're not very strong. As a matter of fact, they're all well below severe limits right now. Same for you, Lynette. You could get a scattered shower out of this in another hour or so, but it's not going to amount to much at all. You're welcome, Elaine. Anytime. Yeah, Kathy, I'm not showing any rain in Roanoke either. Not at the moment, and I really think that there's a decent chance that this skirts just north of Roanoke. If Roanoke sees anything, it would be some of this stuff back in southern Clay and northern Tallapoosa, maybe, if it doesn't completely dissipate before it makes it over toward the Roanoke area. Hey, him, Mary. Hey, Matthew, thank you. Ain't that right, Jennifer? Y'all needed it bad. All of us do. You're welcome, Kelly. I've been trying to get on for about the last 45 minutes, and you gotta love computers. You just gotta love them. You got to love computers. So it waits until I try to go live to tell me I need to update my video drivers. Now, why didn't it tell me that this morning when I was doing our primetime forecast? Well, I guess it's because I wasn't going live. So it tells me that I need to update my video drivers just as I'm trying to go live about 35, 40 minutes ago. So I had to go through that process before this thing would let me connect to the World Wide Web. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back up there. Saw something about a roof. Kim says, building over off Chestnut, a roof fell in from the wind. Huh. Okay, is that like was that like an older building, or? I'm assuming that it is. Off of Chestnut Street. I mean, there's a gust front out ahead of this thing, but there's nothing severe in it. Almond is showing strong winds and no rain. You must be just south of that band of rain over there. Let me go in a little bit closer. I'm showing Almond Malone area right there on the southern end of it. And you can clearly see Roanoke right there. And Chestnut Street's right there in the middle of all this. But the wind, there is a gust front out ahead of this, so yeah, that's most likely where the wind's coming from. Let me see. Look at the velocity on it, and golly, I'm not really seeing much. I mean, there's some 22 mile per hour winds. There's certainly some stronger winds up in Wedowee. But now understand, that's up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. 3, 4, 5,000 feet. We're showing a 50 mile per hour wind up there. That's not at the surface. Hey, here, Woodland, getting some rain out of this thing. Wind starting to pick up in Casita. Yeah, this storm's a long way away from you. Amy's watching us up in Woodland, Alabama. Bobby, we sure do. As a matter of fact, just before I started this process of trying to get on air, I was out removing snakes from the water garden. If those of you who know me understand what a chore that is for me. Most of the time, they're just water snakes. But this afternoon, they are biggin' out there in the water garden, and he is elusive. I've been trying for about 2 hours to catch him, well, ever since I got home from work, and have not been successful yet. And he's big enough, and he looks a little different from the water snakes. He could be a copperhead, so I'm trying to catch him. Storms, the line is moving to the east. The individual storms are moving northeast. I know, right, Stephen? If I bring it to Dawsonville, I'm going to lift it up to the north a little bit and bring it across White County also. Because when it gets this dry and this hot, that's when I start having a snake problem in the water garden. Hey, Beauregard. Panama City. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, rub it in. Why don't you? Haywood Community. Terry Caldwell's got a little rain. Hey, Mary Lou. Bad in Monroeville. Well, let's just take a little ride down to... Oh, look at there. Y'all got a good one going on down there. I see it. Yeah, stretching from East Monroeville over toward Greenville, just to the east of Frisco City, down to around Castleberry. And part of that about to move over I-65 between Castleberry and Atmore. So anybody that's traveling I-65 this afternoon, even up toward Evergreen, if you're traveling I-65 between Evergreen and Atmore, it's not going to be a good ride there. It's going to be a washout. And you've got several pockets of hail in this storm down there, too, just east of Repton, between Repton and Evergreen. And then also crossing over I-65 just north of Atmore. There appears to be some hail in that storm down there, too. Looking back up here in East Alabama and West Georgia, we've got that one small pocket that's moving up in the northwestern Heard County now, just southwest of Roopville or northwest of Franklin. And then that larger storm stretching from about Newell down to Wedowee to just north of Roanoke. Highway 431 from the radio station in Roanoke all the way up to the Cleveland County line. A complete washout right this moment. James says that Roxton's getting some rain. Yeah, Wadley, that's probably inflow into this storm. That storm's pulling away from you in Wadley. You're not going to get any of the good stuff. Now, you do have a small cell sitting down here around Goldville that may make it up into the Wadley area in the next 15, 20 minutes, but it's compared to that one that's moving through central Randolph, well, there is no comparison. That one down there around Goldville is very small, nowhere near the amount of rain. So the best rain is pulling away from you, Wadley. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just being straight with you. No, Winston. I mean, there's some scattered showers up there in Tupelo and Starkville about to move across North Alabama, but nothing of any great significance. Storms are moving northeast. The entire line is moving east. It's moving from left to right, looking at the map. But the individual cells are moving northeast. So this storm in Randolph County is moving in the direction of Carrollton. This shower in eastern Tallapoosa is moving in the direction of Buffalo, Welch, Standing Rock. This stuff down here in Elmore County will move across southern Tallapoosa, probably up into southern Chambers. Lynette, West Point Valley, Casita, Hughley. If you're going to get anything, it's going to come from this stuff coming out of Elmore County into southern Tallapoosa. It'll probably pull across northwestern Lee. Close call for you, Auburn. This stuff's probably going to move just a little bit north of you. Auburn's rain, if you get any, is going to be this area down around East Montgomery, maybe back toward Tuskegee, that will run right up I-85. Tree down on Highway 22 at Phillips Flat. It's completely blocking the roadway. So stay away from 22 west of Roanoke till they can get that tree cleared up. I would imagine my brothers, the Roanoke Fire Department, on the way out there to get that tree up. Tammy says it's really dark. Standing Rock, 5 points. Rock Mills in the house. Hey, Michael. Hey, Miss Cecilia. It's the mayor of Pennon right there. Yeah, for now, that's correct, Beth. It looks like most of that rain's going to move north of Roanoke. Carrollton, yeah, you're probably going to get in on some of this. That stuff that's in Randolph is moving in your general direction. Taylor's Crossroads, very close call for you. Yeah, I don't know if Roanoke's going to get in the rain or not. That cell that's moving across Randolph County right now, though, unless it builds to the south, and I don't see any signs of that right now. If it doesn't build to the south any at all, then Roanoke's going to miss it completely. Amanda, you said the tree fell on your... That tree almost fell on my car. Whew. Thank goodness. I thought, when I first read it, I thought it said it did fall on your car. Well, go somewhere and get off the road, Amanda. You don't need to be driving in this stuff. I'm going to play daddy for just a minute. Renee says it's horrible at Lake Wedowee right now. Columbus, Georgia's in the house. Yeah, Mike. Let me look at this again. I mean, it tried to build south there for a volume scan or two. It's going to be close for LaGrange. You may catch a brief shower out of this first part. No, I'm sorry. I didn't have the... I was looking at the wrong county. I was looking at Franklin. I was trying to put you up there at Franklin, Mike. Sorry about that. Here's LaGrange. Yeah, so you got a small shower developing at 5 points. I mean, it just popped up on that last volume scan. So let's see what that does. If you get anything in LaGrange, it's going to come from this stuff over in extreme eastern Tallapoosa, over around Buxton. I think that lines up with LaGrange pretty good. Now, we've got some pop-up showers trying to develop behind this line as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't say you're going to completely miss out on the rain, but the stuff, the good stuff that's happening up in Randolph most definitely will go north of you. Upper Omaha, opposed to Central Omaha and the southern burbs at Omaha. That is a thing. Thank you, Mark. Rain at the Atlanta airport. I'm assuming you're trying to fly out this evening. Yeah, there's a chance of it. You got some stuff out there around Douglasville now coming up on Six Flags. I think there's a decent chance. I don't see anything severe that would move through Atlanta that would potentially cause any flight delays. But rain, yeah, I think there's a chance you could see some showers at the airport. East Napoleon, there's another one. You got East Napoleon, North Napoleon, South Napoleon, and you got Napoleon. Taylor's Crossroads getting a little shower. That's good to know, Tammy. I cannot believe that no one has commented on my snake adventure. I don't catch them by hand. I've got a set of those snake catcher grabber things. I got a small one out earlier, and now there's a bigger one out there. Getting bad. Wind is getting bad in Roanoke. Power's out at Rock Stand. Yeah, I show the strongest wind without question just east of Wedowee out there around New Hope, maybe a little bit east of New Hope. And I'm seeing some 50-mile-per-hour winds out there. Now, again, that's up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's not at the surface. But down there around Roanoke, I'm not showing much at all. I mean, there's some 30-mile-an-hour winds, maybe a couple of pockets of 30. Just to the northeast of Wadley. North of Roanoke, I got a 40 right there. Up there around Potash, just north of High Shoals. But you see the bright colors. See if I can get the telestrator to come on. But you'll see this bright area between Napoleon, Wedowee, and Potash. Right there. That's where the strongest wind would be. And for those of you asking for the direction of movement, the storms are moving in that general direction. So you take the upper end of it and move it in that direction. We're talking Carrollton. We're talking Roopville, southern end, and move it in that direction. We're talking maybe Franklin. It's going to be a close call for Franklin. And then Mike's question about LaGrange. This area will be close to LaGrange if it holds together. Who knows, 15, 20 minutes, an hour from now, this thing may completely disintegrate. It's in a weakening phase now, so. And then you have all this stuff in Elmore and Tallapoosa that will move something like so. So you folks in West Point, Lynette, Hughley, Casita down here on Lake Harding, Auburn, Opelika, Beauregard, Lochapoka, all of that will be moving off to the east, northeast. That's where your weather would come from if this holds together. Power flickering at Standing Rock. Put it in motion. You can kind of see the direction that it's moving in. Hey, Broughton. Good to see you, Allison. Hello, Kimberly. Let's see here. Wait a minute. I saw Mr. Mark Hall in here. Let me see what Mark had to say. Whoa. What's going on? Napoleon on 56. Weird color change in the velocity reflective. Oh, that was back over on the velocity. Those were wind directions and wind speeds. That's where the heaviest wind is right now. Transformer on fire in Standing Rock. Hello, Lynette. Sandy, good to see you. Denise watching us in the Roanoke. Yeah, Roopville, I think you are pretty much in the path. You are. There's Roopville. And all this is moving in your general direction. As a matter of fact, you should be, unless you're on the east side of Roopville, if you're in Roopville or west of Roopville, you should start seeing raindrops pretty much at any moment. Hey, Carrie Futch. We need rain up here, too. It is dry. Opelika, you look good right now. I mean, if you get any showers, it's it's going to come from the precipitation that's taking place over there in Elmore County. About to move into southern Tallapoosa, then western Lee, and then eventually on toward Auburn and Opelika, if it holds together. That's a big if right now. Bowden, you stand to get some pretty good rain out of this. I think the best of it will be just a shade bit south of you, but I still think you'll catch some of this stuff coming out of northern Randolph. Need some on the Dove field. I understand, Glenn. Dark and windy in Pennon, Alabama. Yeah, you've got some showers coming at you out of Frog Eye and Buxton, but we're not talking about anything severe. Light to moderate rainfall for Pennon. Hey, Mike, this one's building a little bit further south, so I think LaGrange does. If it holds together, I think LaGrange will get a shower out of this. It's probably going to be another hour before it gets over there. Hey, Dawn. Raining in Woodland. I hope y'all, unless it's lightning, don't do this. But if it's not lightning, you need to go out there and do a rain dance. And be thankful. Dark and thundering in Roanoke. Yeah, but I got bad news for you, Danita. It's all going to stay north of you. You're not going to get any rain out of this storm that's moving through Randolph County. If Roanoke sees any measurable precipitation, it's going to come from the precipitation over in southwest or southeastern Clay, northeastern Tallapoosa, and maybe down here around Milltown. All of this will slowly move in this general direction. So this area of precipitation up here from Roxton all the way to the county line is moving away from you, Roanoke. You're not going to get any of that. And understand the green is very light. As a matter of fact, some of this green may not even be making it to the ground. And then the yellows and reds are the heavier rain showers. This is it's not severe. As a matter of fact, we've lost all of our special weather statements. There are no watches or warnings or statements on any of this stuff in Alabama or Georgia. So we're just talking about a good old summertime afternoon thunderstorm with some gusty winds, some dangerous lightning taking place there in Randolph. We've got some lightning up there around Newell, some lightning just east of 431, just east of Roxton, or just north of Roxton, near Potash. And Roanoke is being left completely out of the party. No precipitation whatsoever. Unless the activity back in Tallapoosa and northwestern Chambers can make it into Roanoke in the next hour or so. Nan's watching us in West Point. Linda says she's leaving me with no rain. Good night. Now, wait a minute. I didn't say you were not going to get rain. I'm telling you, you're not going to get rain from that heavier shower, the one with the beneficial rainfall that's moving through Randolph now. You may pick up a quick shower from this activity back to the southwest, but it's not going to produce anywhere near the rainfall amounts that we'll call it the Wedowee storm is dropping right now. Well, Linda, if it'll make you feel any better, I'm up here in northeast Georgia, and right there in southwest White County. I'll put a little right there. That's where I live. So you can see that there is nothing within 100 miles of me up here. So there's not much chance I'm going to get any rain tonight either. That sounds like a plan, Judy. Yeah, great idea, folks. Please hit the like button. Share us with your friends. Ask your friends to share with their friends. And listen to me. If you don't do anything else tonight, as soon as we end our broadcast, which is going to happen here in a few minutes, go over to our YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, go to our YouTube channel subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather, and click that little bell. You need to, because the way the algorithm works on Facebook, if you don't interact with Dr. Don's Weather on a regular basis, you're not going to get notified when we go live to cover severe weather. And we have those long stretches of time where we don't go live and you don't interact with us every single day or at least 3 or 4 times a week, then we drop off of your priority list on your news feed. So when we go live, it may be minutes, hours, or days before you get the notification that we're live. Does not work that way over on YouTube. YouTube, if you subscribe to our channel, which is free, and click the little bell, you get what's called a push notification. It's instant. You're going to get it whether you've watched any of our coverage in the last 2 years. You're still going to get it. So make sure you do that. Also, like us on YouTube and share us on YouTube as well. I think the day's probably coming that's going to be our only option. So make sure, even if you want to continue watching us on Facebook, go over there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get the notification from YouTube and you can watch us on Facebook. And also, don't ever forget, you can also watch us on our website at drdonwx.com. It's right there on the home page. Thank you, Sherelle. That's correct. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Very, very important. And listen, I'm going to tell you this also. It helps us. That's one way of supporting us. If you subscribe to us over there, the more numbers we get on YouTube and on Facebook, it does help us out. It pushes our feed higher on the list. We start trending, and it does help us. So if you cannot support us financially, the next best thing you can do, even if you do support us financially, be sure you share us, like us, and share us every single chance you get. That helps us out a lot. Thank you, Angie. That is correct. Look, Angie's telling you the truth. I didn't. Here's your $20 bill. I didn't pay her to say that. She's telling you, and I'm telling you, that is the gospel right there. And here's the cool piece. If you have a smart TV in your house, or if you have an iPad or a tablet, an Android, you can watch us on a much larger screen, and it's much, much easier to read the names on the radar. It's much easier to see the resolution of the radar. You can tell a whole lot better when I need to shave because the quality is much, much better on a larger screen. A lot of people watch us on their big screen, and that's the way to do it. You'll thank Angie later for taking her advice, I promise you. All right, let's go back over here and look at the weather one more time. We're going to bust out of here because there is nothing severe. You know, typically we don't go live unless there is life-threatening weather, but these storms look rough. When you see them coming in from the west, they look rough. And I know there's been some gusty winds with them. And you've been hearing about these storms for the last 4 or 5 hours over in West Alabama. They did cause some damage over there. So I thought I'd jump in and give you a little update on where they were and where they're going. And I'm kind of glad I did that because I had some computer issues. And if it had to happen when I was trying to go live, tonight was a good time for that because we didn't have any life-threatening weather. And we got those issues straightened out. So if we have some severe weather, we won't be delayed getting on. Thank you, Mark. Mark Hall is a longtime supporter of Dr. Don's Weather, and we appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Jason. Thanks, Angie. So we do have rain from the west side of Atlanta now, from about Six Flags all the way out I-20 down to around Carrollton, and then up around Temple, Georgia, back over just east of Anniston and Jacksonville, stretching down into eastern Cleburne County, Central and eastern Randolph County, good rain falling now in Woodland. And that stretches to just north of Roanoke. And when I say just north of Roanoke, look at that. Crystal Lake. From Crystal Lake all the way to the Cleburne County line, it's raining. From Crystal Lake south all the way through Roanoke, 5 Points, Lafayette, Auburn, Opelika, not a drop. Wadley, I think you're going to get a little shower in just a few moments. You've got a very small one coming in on 77. Also some stuff just northeast of New Site that will move right across southern Randolph. That's probably going to go south of Roanoke. But maybe, just maybe, Roanoke will squeeze out a shower out of some of this as it moves in this general direction. And Mike watching us over there in LaGrange. Uh-oh. Hang on. That's where your weather will come from if you get anything. It's maintaining, so I think there's a decent chance that this crosses from Lafayette up to just south of Roanoke, and probably does move right over West Point Lake and through LaGrange. So you folks over there on Lake West Point, heads up, especially if you're in a tent, because you got some showers coming your way. Nothing severe, and nothing to be concerned about, but I don't think you want to ride this out in a tent. You might want to find a place to go eat supper while this moves through. And looking on further south, heavy stuff still continues in eastern Elmore. That'll move right across Tallahassee and then back up toward Reeltown. That may make it into Lee County, so you may get some heavier showers another hour or so across Lee County. Heavier showers to the south of Montgomery, north of Union Springs. And then we still got that big stuff very slowly moving down here in southwest Alabama, stretching from about Atmore all the way to Greenville. Some really heavy thunderstorms, I should say evergreen, maybe Georgiana, down to Atmore, with embedded pockets of hail crossing over I-65 at this hour. So that's kind of an update, and when I zoom out and show you the overall big picture, you can see there's just not a whole lot out there this afternoon. But here's the good news. Our pattern's changing. So from now all the way through next Monday, Tuesday, and I'm going to say probably well beyond that, we're going to be in that 30 to 40% chance of a pop-up thunderstorm every afternoon now. We have pretty much we've left our severe spring pattern. The severe weather threat, organized severe weather, has pretty much ended for our spring season. Now we're in the heat of the summer, obviously, and so we're going to get those pop-up afternoon thunderstorms. Now, those pop-up afternoon thunderstorms can be severe. Don't take what I'm saying lightly and think that, severe weather season's over. The organized severe weather is over. But a pop-up summertime afternoon thunderstorm can be bad. So always pay attention to those. And, we're looking at hurricane season now. And if this is not a very active hurricane season, we're going to miss the best opportunity I think the planet has ever seen. I'm serious, folks. The ocean temperature is at levels we typically see in September. Already here at the end of June, we're 82, 83, 84 degree water temperature in the Atlantic, the Gulf, and the Caribbean. That it typically doesn't get that warm until September. Well, here we are at the end of June, and we're already that hot. Of course, that's the number one ingredients that storms have to form tropical activity. Of course, tropical storms and hurricanes is the ocean's way of releasing energy. And with that much water, that warm, this early in the season, We stand a great opportunity. Plus, we're going from an El Nino to a La Nina weather pattern. And typically in La Nina years, we have more hurricanes. So all the ingredients are coming together for this to be a very active tropical storm season. So that's where we are now. We'll deal with that and pop-up thunderstorms every other day. Somebody will see a pop-up thunderstorm, and then occasionally we'll have to deal with some tropical issues. That's just the pattern we're in, and that will continue until we get into November, late October, November, and then we'll have our secondary severe weather season. So never a dull moment around the southeastern United States when it comes to weather. Power out on Potash Ridge. Fredonia needs a lot of rain. So does my front yard. Let's see. Power out, Alabama side of West Point Lake, 5 points. Thank you, Jamie Dukas. Get your ducks in a row with Dukas. He will come to your house. I should have known that. Should have known he would do that. But I didn't know he would do that. We had some viewers over in Greenville, Georgia, 100 miles away from Jamie. And he drove over to their home and wrote their insurance form. And they are Dr. Don viewers. That's good stuff right there. And folks, I'm telling you, I know a lot of you enjoy what we do, but we couldn't do it with folks like Jamie. I mean, he's a huge supporter of Dr. Don's weather, so we've got to support him. That's how this works. Everybody that you see on Dr. Don's weather is scrolling up there in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. All those folks support us here on Dr. Don's weather, so every chance you get, support those folks and tell them that Dr. Don sent you so we can keep this going. We're in our 6th year of live broadcast on Dr. Don's weather. Time is flying by. Chanel, that you're not going to get anything but some rain, maybe some gusty wind, bolt of lightning here and there. These storms are below severe limits, and they are weakening as they move off to the east. There's no real threat of severe weather with this line of storms. That's what I'm talking about, Allison. I'd be standing out in it, too, as long as it's not lightning at your house. If you hear thunder, don't do that. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. I got to go out there and see if I can get that copperhead out of my water garden. And I'll keep watching this. As you can see, it's very slow moving. So, Randolph County is just picking up some extremely beneficial rainfall here. I wouldn't be surprised to see, 2 to 3 inches of rain out of this before it's over with. So if you were lucky to be under this storm, you were blessed on this June 26, 2024. I'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast. For those of you that don't watch it every day, please do. We post it about 6 a.m. every morning. We'll tell you what you can expect throughout the day. We give you the 6-day forecast. We kind of keep you in the know about what's going on with the weather across East Alabama and West Georgia. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. And I'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise on Dr. Don's weather. Y'all have a great rest of your evening.